Essence of Egypt is going to be November 10th through the 19th, 2026. And so let's get this started. Many of you already have met me because this is not your first time with us. But for those of you who do not know, I'll introduce myself. I'm Sharice Stanley, and I am the owner and CEO of Cruise Jet Travel, which we started back in 2017. I do have a lot of experience in customer service as well as hospitality, and that includes getting my degree in business and hospitality from Howard University. I'm so proud of that. HU, you know. Also, I have worked in management with Disney, Marriott, and Hyatt hotels. So those are all heavy hitters when it comes to hospitality and customer service. And so all of those traits and experience that I've learned through the years with those companies, I bring those to you. So why would you want to travel with Cruise Jet Travel? Well, we pride ourselves on no worry travel. Our trips are well paced, and we try to bring unique experiences to you. And for us, that means that we're looking for those things that if you were booking this trip on your own, you might not be able to put together or might not have known or thought to do. So we try to make sure that we have those special touches that makes traveling with Cruise Jet Travel and Auntie-Approved Adventures so special. So why Egypt? As you know, it's one of the oldest civilizations, and there are so many awesome, and I do mean awesome, because when you are there, you're going to be in awe of the monuments, the temples, and just what they were able to do thousands of years ago without modern technology. November is, in my opinion, one of the best times to go. You know, it is the desert. And so they pretty much have two seasons, hot and hotter. And so while it's going to be warm, it is not unbearably hot during November. So you're looking at highs in the upper to mid 70s to 80s and lows around 50. So let's go through some FAQs, and then I will let you know that we will have a question and answer period at the end. If you have a question at that point, you can come off of mute. I would ask during the presentation, please stay on mute. If you have a burning question or if you think you might not remember to ask something, you can certainly use the chat and we will review the chat at the end. But for some of our frequently asked questions, do you need a passport? Yes, most definitely. And please have 6 months or more remaining from the date of our return. So we're talking about May of 2027. And just as a side note, I always go over this with our information sessions. It's a good rule of thumb so that wherever you're going, if you always try to have 6 months remaining, then you won't go wrong, because some countries require 6 months, some may say 3 months, some as long as you just have one day. But to not have to worry about trying to research and figure it out, if you always have 6 months, then you're good. Will you need a visa? Yes, it is available at the airport. You bring $25 in US cash and you can get the visa on the spot. Do we have payment plans? Yes, we do. And are flights included? Yes, flights are included in this package from JFK, which is in New York City, if you choose the full package. Now, the language there is Arabic. However, English is widely spoken. Children are welcome, although I will say that the tour is geared toward adults. Is there a lot of physical movement? Yes. This is definitely a trip that is not really a good fit if you have mobility issues. The ship that we will be on, because we will be sailing down the Nile, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, it does not have elevators. So if you're someone who cannot walk stairs, this is not a trip for you, unfortunately. If you are someone that needs wheelchair service, then this also would prove to be very difficult for you because we're going to be going to monuments and temples that are thousands of years old. Trying to use a wheelchair on a lot of the surfaces is just problematic. So I just want to bring that to your attention. Do you need a vaccine? There are no required vaccines with this trip, but as always, check with your personal physician to see what he or she has to say about your health needs. And for money, they use the Egyptian pound, and $1 is equal to 50.62 Egyptian pounds. So, with this package, what is included? What are you going to get? Well, daily breakfast at the hotel and breakfast, lunch, and dinner while we are sailing, daily guided tours, as well as top rated accommodations. So there's a lot to this trip, and I really, really, really am excited to present this to you. But I want to go over some of the highlights. Now, this is just some of what you're going to get. Egypt. What's the first thing that comes to anyone's mind? The pyramids of Giza. So we absolutely cannot go and not see the pyramids. So we definitely will be going there, and you'll have an opportunity to see the pyramids up close and personal. And there will also be opportunities if you want to do a little camel riding, you can do that as well. But this is absolutely a must see, and I will tell you, it is awesome. It is a sight to behold. Now, going along with the pyramids is the Sphinx, which is right there. Yes, the lion face and the lion body and the pharaoh faced Sphinx will be there so you can get all your Instagram pictures and all with this trip. But we will be definitely, and of course, I'm sure you already knew that, we will be going to visit both the Sphinx as well as the pyramids while we're there in Giza. Kom Ombo. So while we are on the Nile, we'll be stopping along the way at different temples and different pyramids. And so one of those stops is Kom Ombo. Now, you may know a little bit about the history and um, just ancient civilization as it goes for Egypt. But one thing that is very unusual about Kom Ombo, and in particular this place, is most temples are dedicated to one god. This one is dedicated to two gods, the crocodile god as well as the falcon-headed god. And so with this temple, you're going to be able to see that. And I just want to draw your attention to this picture. One of the things that is so awesome, and you will probably hear me say the word awesome several times during this presentation, as we know, this civilization is thousands of years old, but it's amazing to me how, and the picture does not do it justice. Look at the details in the wall in this picture. It is so, it is so amazing to me to be able to say, look at the preservation and how were they able to do this? How were they able to do this? So this is one of the best preserved monuments that we're going to run into, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention because it really is a sight to behold, and it looks amazing on screen, but just imagine in person. Now, the Valley of the Kings and Queens. This is another spot that really takes your breath away. I mean, to see this temple, as you can see from the picture, the temple is carved out of the mountain. So that in and of itself is amazing. But, there's one thing that for me personally that I really love. It's the Valley of the Kings and Queens. And we will be learning about one queen in particular, Queen Hatshepsut. Now, you may or may not have heard of her, but this is a bad mama jamma. And so this is, of course, Mother's Day. So we're, talking and lauding women in our lives. But this sister here was really, really something because she was a female pharaoh. And, you're going to learn a lot because that's rare to be able to have a female pharaoh because, as you know, they're generally men. And so we'll learn the story about Queen Hatshepsut and some of the things that she has done. And I mean, she really was an excellent pharaoh. Now, the Temple of Karnak, this is one of the largest temples in Egypt. And as I just got finished talking about Sister Girl Queen Hatshepsut, she had the largest obelisk in Egypt built right here. So again, this sister was doing it, doing it, and doing it. And so I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I don't want to teach a lesson here or anything, but I really get excited because it is just so amazing what you will see and just the magnitude of all of the temples and the monuments that we're going to come into contact with. But we will be going to Karnak and you will be in awe. As I said, you'll hear that word a lot because I really don't know what else to say except it is really awesome and amazing to sit there and look and say, how in the world were these people able to do this? Luxor. Luxor in ancient times was the capital city. And so, as you can imagine, it's a lot of just because it was the capital, there was a lot of columns, a lot of grandeur, and everything that they put into that city. And so we'll have the opportunity to be able to take pictures and look and touch and feel to, experience the city of Luxor and to see how they lived back then. But again, just the amount of detail in all these monuments and how well preserved it is amazing. Now, one of the places that you may or may not have heard about if you've been doing any research lately on Egypt is the Grand Egyptian Museum, or they call it the GEM, GEM. I'm telling you, it is now going to be open in about another couple of months. When we were there last, it was not completely open. It was a soft opening, and it has been 20 years in the making. But I will tell you, this place is out of this world. You might not be able to tell from the picture, but this is King Ramses II, this statue. And you might be able to kind of tell the scale because off to the side here on the right, just behind his foot, there is a gentleman standing there. And so you can kind of see the scale. This statue is 36 feet tall. And so it is so huge. In fact, the museum was built around him. They placed him first and then built the museum. And so when we went last, there was just the grand staircase and a few halls that were open because, again, it was a soft opening. But when we return in November of 26, it will be fully open. And baby, if that was the soft opening, I cannot wait because it was awesome. It was fantastic. And one of the things that's really on my to see list when it gets there is King Tutankhamun. We've seen pictures of the boy king, King Tut, but this will be the first time that his entire collection will be together. Most of the tombs, when they were discovered, were raided. His tomb was one that was intact, but people took pieces and kind of put them on display different places in the world. And so now his coffin had like three parts to it. where kind of like nesting, like the Russian dolls are nested one inside of the other. This will be the first time that all three parts are going to be together. And so I have to kind of calm myself down because I'm really, really excited to see it myself, but also to present it and see it with all of you. And I don't want to give too much away because it is just going to be that kind of a trip. But I just want you to know because people may ask, oh, are you going to the new museum? That's what some people refer to it as, the new museum. Yes, we are. Yes, 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 we are. So that was just a few of the gems that we will be seeing on our itinerary while we're in Cairo and then as we're sailing down the Nile. But I want to right now talk about the accommodations. As I said, we have five-star accommodations. And so it begins and it will end with the Intercontinental City Stars. This is right in the heart of Cairo, and it's in an area called Nasser City. And what's great about it is it is connected to a shopping mall. So you're going to have your world-class accommodations with, of course, room service, different restaurants, bars, buffets, indoor and outdoor dining, but you also have the option for the mall if you want something different to eat, or let's say you forgot something. It's the convenience of being able to walk right next door and have the mall to pick up any last minute items. So just want to show you a little bit of pictures, a little photo here and there of the hotel, just so you can get a kind of get an idea of the accommodations. So this is their outdoor space, large pool. They have their own obelisk, and you can see that this is really a nicely landscaped and beautiful scene. So you can do your outdoor dining. We've done that before, and it's really, really quite nice. We have a buffet breakfast, and so you'll be able to enjoy that here in the dining room. Again, no shortage of places to take pictures. This is their lobby. And again, you can see that this is a beautiful accommodation. And here is a twin, but if you would like a king room, that's not a problem. We can get that for you as well. Now, the Sonesta Moon Goddess. This will be our home for 3 nights. We'll be sailing down the Nile. If you've never done a river cruise before, many people are familiar with ocean cruises where you do your Carnival cruise, your Royal Caribbean, your Virgin Voyages. Those are ocean liners, and so they're built a lot differently, and they're very, very tall. You have many decks. For a river cruise, it's different. Number one, the rivers are calm. It's a different kind of water. So for those that may say, I get motion sick because of the rocking, there is no rocking of the boat because you're not getting those ocean waves like you would get when you are sailing out of Florida or where have you. So the river cruises are low to the coastline, and you can see in this photo, and they're just a few decks. This ship will be sailing us down the Nile, and you'll be able to have um, full windows, ceiling to floor windows, as well as a balcony. And so it's really a nice atmosphere to be able to just sit out there and enjoy the world as it goes by. Here's their atrium and front desk area, and you can see again that this is a beautiful accommodation. Again, for those who joined us a little later, there are no elevators on the river cruise. So you would have to walk the stairs, but there are only 4 decks. Here is the accommodations for the rooms. And as I said, you have the balcony. So you'll be able to sit out here and enjoy as you watch Egypt float by. And then here is their dining room. And If you want to chill out on the roof deck, you can sit in the pool, you can lounge. There's a bar on board, so you can really enjoy yourself while you're out here. Now, I want to stop for a minute because Emmanuel, there was a video that we came across, and I wanted you all to see it because I'm telling everyone about these top accommodations, and there is a reason why, for a trip like this, especially, you want to make sure that you are in top accommodations, the top-notch cruise ship, and not just any old run-of-the-mill cruise ship. Because unlike in the United States, certain countries don't have the same standards and they don't have the same checks and balances. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment here. Emmanuel, I'm going to mute myself, but I'm going to ask you to introduce what we're seeing, and if you can bring that up for everyone.
Sure, if you could allow me to share. And good evening, everyone. Thank you. See, right, I'm gonna stop sharing there. I don't know if you all were you able to see and hear what he was saying? You couldn't hear what he was saying? Could you see him at all?
I could see him. Can you bring it up again and just pause while he's in the hot tub, and I will let everybody know what it was that he said. I apologize that you weren't able to hear everything, but I will let you know what he said, and then I want you to take a look. If you can make it full screen so they can see a little better in case someone is on a cell phone, please, if you're able to. Okay, pause it right. Go back to where he's in the hot tub, please, and then pause it while he's sitting in the tub. Okay, right there is good. Okay, what he's saying is he's sitting in the hot tub. As you can see, that's what he's doing. He's sitting in the hot tub and he's taking in this beautiful view of sailing down the Nile. And he's sitting there, and the bubbles from the hot tub feel so good on my stomach right now because I had food poisoning, and my stomach is, still a little sore. So I'm sitting here, but what an amazing view this is. It's still a wonderful trip being able to sail down the Nile. Now, I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm glad that, he's making the best of it, but I'm looking at this ring around this filthy freaking tub, and I'm saying, okay, young man, I can see why you ended up getting sick on this cruise. You cannot just get on any cruise. So this is one of those you get what you pay for kind of deals where there are some that are, you know, dirt cheap, but you're getting that. And they're allowing this young man and any other guest to get in this hot tub that is visibly dirty. And so I'm saying, as somebody who used to work in a hotel, and specifically someone who was a director of housekeeping, if they did not close this hot tub, and this is in plain view of the guest, what does the kitchen look like? What does the ice machine look like? What are they cleaning with? Are they using actual disinfectants, or are they just taking a dirty rag and slopping the stuff and wiping the crumbs onto the floor? And so thank you, Emmanuel, you can pull that down. And so I say all that to say that you can't just go certain places and just, oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. And so I'm bringing that to you to say that all ships are not built the same. And the difference is when you're at a hotel and you decide you're going to go to, the Bates Motel, and you get there and you're like, you know what? This don't look right. You can always check out, walk down the street, drive down the block, and find another hotel. When you are on the river, you are on the river. There is no swimming downstream to pick up another cruise ship. So you want to pick right the first time. So one of the things I have to say is that with Sonesta, it is an American company. And so all of the ships in the Sonesta family are high-end American standard and American quality ships. So I just wanted to bring that to you. I know that unfortunately you weren't able to really hear the gentleman, but that is what he was saying. And I was like, bless his heart, but he's just as happy. He's just as happy, and I'm glad that he had a good time because that was the main thing. You go on a trip like that, for many, it's a trip of a lifetime. And so you want to be able to still enjoy yourself. So it sounds like he did, but not for me. Thank you very much. No, ma'am. So thank you. Let me get back to the presentation, but thank you, Emmanuel, for sharing that. Okay, so if you've been on any Zoom or info session with me, if you know anything about us, we always, always, always recommend travel insurance. We suggest that you use Travel Guard, but you are free to use any company that you wish. But the main thing is to please have coverage because anything can happen at any time. And so my motto is it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And so when you get to the booking page, if you're interested in this trip, you will see a link for Travel Guard, but again, you can use any company that you desire. Just make sure that you have coverage with someone. It is so important. The one time that you need it, that's, when you will thank me. So, what does this package include? You're going to get 8 nights accommodations, round trip flights from JFK if you choose the full package, breakfast daily in Cairo, a welcome lunch. On the cruise ship, you will have breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. We're going to have daily tours, And there will be a free day. And that's why this year we're doing 8 nights instead of 7, because we want to make sure that you have a free day to do what you'd like. You're going to have climate controlled transportation, an English speaking guide, cruise jet travel gift, and a travel host. What is not included? If you choose land only, then the flights as well as the airport transfers are not included. Travel insurance, again, is recommended, but it's not included. Tips and gratuities, any meal that we did not mention, personal items. If you want an early check-in or a late check-out, you can deal directly with the hotel to see about staying a little later or coming in a little earlier. And any optional tours that are outside of our group tours, that would be on you, as well as anything that I did not mention from the first slide saying that it was included. So the pricing for all of this is for double occupancy, 2 people sharing, $45.99 for land only, or solo is $55.99. If you're doing the full package that includes flights from JFK, then it's $57.99 and solo is $67.99. And so, with that, as you know, we always hook our info session people up with a nice offer. So, $200 off. If you book by Saturday at midnight, you will get $200 off your invoice. If you can't make it or can't make your decision by Saturday, Sunday you will get $150 off as long as you book by midnight. There is no code needed. It is timed. So make sure you do your booking by midnight and you will get either the 200 or the 150 off. And roommate match is available for this tour. So that I know for a lot of people is a thing. Oh, I really want to go, but I don't have anyone to go with. Well, don't worry about that because we will match you with an auntie. Now, roommate matching is only for ladies. So I don't want you to worry. It's only for ladies, and we will match you up with another lady. Also, I want to let you know that you have all the way until August 1st of next year. So I did say we have payment plans. The final payment is not due until August 1st of 2026. So what does that look like? If you're doing land only, $300 per month. And if you're doing the full package, $370 per month. So that is so that you can reasonably be able to go on this trip because this is a once in a lifetime dream trip. It's a bucket list trip. And all the things that I've talked about, it is really, really, really going to be something special. I mean, when you see those monuments, when you see those temples, and when you see that Grand Egyptian Museum, the gem, I no words, no words. It is awesome. It is really an awesome experience, an awesome museum, and you already know Egypt is one of those places. So, if Emmanuel, if you could put that in the chat, this is the booking link. It is cruisejettravel.com/mbg/Egypt 2026. And so again, you do not need any codes. The promo will be automatically applied. So I'm going to stop sharing. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, hello. I have a question.
Hi, yes. Hi, Leslie.
Hey, yeah, now what's the difference on the package between the land and the full package again?
Land only, you would arrive on your own. You would book your own flight to get to Egypt. The full package, you would meet us in JFK and we would fly over as a group and the flight will be included.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Anyone else? So for those of you who were on the Dubai trip, and that I'll call you next time, Chandra. For those of you who were on the Dubai trip, it would be the same type of thing. We would meet up at the gate and we would fly over together. But go ahead, Chandra.
I was asking, would it be Emirates or do we know what airline we would be flying?
We don't know right now which airlines. The airlines don't come out until the schedules don't come out until about 330 days before, about 11 months out. And so I can't say for certain.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. But it will not be Spirit Airlines. That I can tell you. Even if they had an international program, no way, Jose. And I will also say though, um it will not be Egypt Air. Even though Egypt Air is their national airline, it is not the best. We will more than likely do Egypt Air for the flight from Cairo down to Aswan, and then we'll sail down to Aswan and then take it. We'll sail down from Aswan to Luxor and then fly back. That's only like an hour. That is one thing, taking an hour and 20-minute flight. But I don't want to be on that flight for 10 hours. So that's the only thing I will say. And I see Denise shaking your head. So I guess you've heard about Egypt, Egypt Air. It will not be Egypt Air. So it will,
Been
I'll
there,
let you
done that,
know. It
Sheree.
will then,
Been
I'm
there, done
sorry.
that. Been
Oh,
there,
you've been
done
there, done
that.
that.
Horrible.
Oh, there's Deborah talking.
Sharice,
Yeah. Yeah. And
I have two
unfortunately,
questions.
certainly, just give me one moment, Rochelle. The thing is about Egypt Air, they're the only straight flight. So this will be a layover unless somebody else between now and then has changed their scheduling, because the scheduling is not out yet. So anything can happen. Another airline may decide that they're going to pick up that JFK straight through to Cairo. But as it stands right now, Egypt Air is the only one that goes straight through. And no, thank you. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rochelle.
So as it relates, so if we did the land package, the
Yeah.
Egypt Air portion, is that included in the land package?
Yes, yes. I'm glad
Okay.
you brought that up.
And
Thank you for bringing it up because I want to make sure that it's clear. The land package means you're just going to get to Cairo on your own. But once you're in Cairo, you'll be doing the full tour with everyone, and that includes all of us flying from Cairo down um, to Aswan, sailing together, and then we'll sail down to Luxor. We'll come back by plane to Cairo. That is included. So the intercountry, that is
mhm.
included. And those are economy tickets. As well as if you do the full package, that is an economy ticket. I want to make that clear to everyone. It's economy seats. Thank you. And I believe you have another question for me, Rochelle.
And then yes, my second question is, if we do the land package, we're responsible for transportation from the airport to the hotel. Is that correct?
It's not included, but we can certainly arrange that. I'll find out what the fee is, or you can take a taxi because the taxis are not very far from the airport. I mean, the hotel is not
Thank
very
you.
far from the airport, excuse me.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure.
Hi, this is Debbie Reagan.
Hi.
How you doing?
Well, in yourself.
Good. Well, I missed the beginning of of the thing. I couldn't get on for some reason. But anyway, what did I miss in the beginning? Like where we when like the first day or the second day? What are we doing?
Okay. I didn't go over the day by day, but I will go back. Let me share my screen again, and I will show you what you might have missed. Just one second. But we're going to start in Cairo. Let me roll
Um,
it back. I'm sorry. Hopefully, this is not hurting your eyes, me
no.
scrolling. Okay. So this is pretty much the beginning of me talking about the itinerary. We're going to start in Cairo. And so when you arrive, people arrive at different times. So the very first day, there won't be anything. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to get there by 6. If your flight arrives early, fine, you'll be at the hotel and you can enjoy the hotel. If it arrives late, no problem, because when you arrive, it's just arrival day. So that will be November 11th. It's an arrival day and you're on your own. The next day, we will start our tour of the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. And so that will all be together. The next day, we're going to be flying down to catch our sailboat, our cruise ship, excuse me. And so it takes it from there. We'll sail for 3 days. We'll come back to Cairo. We'll visit the gym, which is the Grand Egyptian Museum. So these places, this is during the cruise, during the cruise, during the cruise, during the cruise. And then when we get back to Cairo, we will be visiting the Grand Egyptian Museum, and we have some other little treats for you as well. And then you will have a free day that you can do anything that you would like to do.
Okay.
And
All right.
and then
Thank-
we will end it on a Thursday flying back home.
So the date is November 11th to when?
It's November 10 through the 19th. Let me go back. It's the 10th through the 19th. The 10th is actually the day we're leaving, New York, if you're going to be on the group, but you'll be flying out of wherever in the US on the 10th and arrive on the 11th.
Okay.
The 19th is the day everyone goes home.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Is there anyone else? Okay, make sure you grab, if you can, grab the link right now because I didn't want the others that are not on the call to be able to have access to see this before you all. The booking group booking page, the link is not live there. So if you want to see what it's all about and see the details on the booking page, please grab the link from the chat and I will make it live tomorrow. So you all on the call have first dibs. You all will have first opportunity to be able to take a look at it. And then tomorrow it will be available to anyone else that goes to the group page, maybe sometime in the afternoon. I don't know exactly what time, but it will be tomorrow afternoon sometimes that it will be live for anyone else. So you all have first dibs. Are there any last minute questions? And I'm sorry, I know at one point I couldn't see my face because I was looking at the presentation, but I'm sure I probably looked crazy when I was talking about the gym, especially, and Queen Hatshepsut, because those are two of my favorites for this. And I really am very excited for you all to see this destination. You know, it is, I keep saying awesome because you will be in awe. Because in my mind, I kept saying, how in the world these folks can't hardly build a house that don't fall down here nowadays. How in the world were they able to do this? They didn't have the machinery. They didn't have all the quote unquote modern technology and all of that. And like I said, King Ramses in the museum is 36 feet tall. You know, the obelisk that Queen Hatshepsut built is the tallest in Egypt. And you know, there are several obelisks in Egypt. You know, just how they do the pyramids and they don't fall in on you. You know, all of that. It is just a wonder. And so, you know, while I'm excited and I hope you can see how excited I am, I hope it wasn't, you know, like just distracting from the presentation because I want you to really understand that we have really put a lot of time to put this together so that you all get a full complement and feel like that once you leave, you have seen so much. I mean, of course, with no trip, you can see everything, but that you've seen all of the must-sees in the way in which you'd like to see it. So I'm going to give everybody one last time if you have a question. But as I always say, if you get off this call and say, oh my, I forgot to ask her such and such, or I have another question, or, my friend wants the information, can you send it to me? Any of that, I'm here at your service. And I want to give everyone my contact details. If I don't if you want to call, that's fine. The easiest and fastest way to get a response from me if I'm not available when you call is to text or email. But many of you have been on trips with me before, and you know that I will respond to you. I will respond to you. So if you leave a message, I will get the information back to you, and I make sure that you get what you need. So that I want to make that declaration for anyone who is new and may not know how we roll here at Cruise Jet Travel with Auntie-Approved Adventures. But I wanted to bring that to you. Let me come back to the page with the details of our contact so you can take a screenshot or write it down, take a picture of it, whatever you'd like. Oh, before I forget, we still have some space. So let me go over the trips that we have listed on our group trips page. Toronto, we still have a couple of spots. That September, we're doing the Underground Railroad. We're visiting Toronto City, and we will be going down to Niagara Falls. This was the trip that some of you may have seen me when I was at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. I'm not going to go through what happened a week after I visited, but if you know, you know. But this was the trip that I was talking about after the incident happened. Dubai. Many of you on this call have gone to Dubai with us, but for anybody who has not done Dubai, we are going back in October. Any of the ladies and gentlemen on this trip, I'm sure they will tell you there was a time had, such a good time. And so we're doing it again. Anyone who is a past Dubai guest, please let your friends know if you came back and bragged about that trip. Please let your friends know if they want to do the trip that you just experienced. Please contact us because we are going this October. Also, we're doing an African American Heritage Tour in Ghana this November, where we will visit Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast Castle. Again, this is a trip with daily guided tours. And in April, we will be going to Brazil, Salvador de Bahia, which is the blackest city outside of the continent of Africa, if you didn't know, as well as Rio de Janeiro. And we will be staying on Copacabana Beach. Yeah, baby. So thank you. Here is our contact information. If you need to take a screenshot, or if you want to write it down, I'm going to leave it up for a moment. And also, you will have our contact information also on the emails that we sent. Like there was the email that reminded you today of this meeting. So if you're driving or you're somewhere where you're not able to write it down, just know that the information is there. So please share this with your friends if you have friends and family who may be interested in going to Egypt. This will be an awesome opportunity for them to come and see the the country for themselves. Also, again, we have the roommate match. So you don't have to worry if people that you have in your life say they don't want to go. You don't have to worry about it because we got you. We got you. All righty. Thank you, thank you, thank you.